good?
Yep.
Okay. Close enough to 5 for everybody. We'll call this meeting of the BZA to order. Would you take roll, please?
Rob Kaufman.
Here.
Dave Eggers.
Here.
Skylar Early.
Here.
Karen Munson.
Here.
Mark Gillespie.
We've all had an opportunity to see the minutes from last month's meeting. Any additions, retractions, corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve as stated.
Motion's been made. We will vote those in favor of receiving those minutes from last month.
Aye.
As
Aye.
is, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. It has been passed. First case, please.
First case tonight's BZA 03-26. Jesse Bob is the petitioner. Petitioner is requesting a land use variance of 1532 Morningside Drive to manufacture gun parts. Did go to Plan Commission March the 12th and received a favorable recommendation 6-4 with one absent.
Would the petitioner please step forward, state your name and your case, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jesse Bob. I'm the owner of Exit Strategies Industry LLC, and I'm looking for a variance so I can use my outbuilding to manufacture firearm suppressors. I have applied for my FFL license, and everything's just waiting on your guys' variance approval.
Suppressors,
Yes.
silencers.
Yes.
Technical, yeah, clinical, okay. Okay,
Can I ask a question on that?
we sure?
It seems a little vague. It says gun parts. Can you elaborate on that?
I'm a manufacturer of firearm suppressors. That is what I want to do.
That's what you want to do right now?
Yes.
What are your future endeavors with this?
To grow. Eventually, I'm gonna move out of where I'm at when the timing proceeds, or if I get big enough. It all depends on how it all goes. But I want to eventually own a store and manufacture firearms completely. But that won't be where I'm at now.
Okay.
At this time, my only plans is just to manufacture suppressors.
Can you kind of walk me through the process on that? What kind of equipment, what kind of tools?
Manual lathe, manual mill, and welders, and a sandblast cabinet, which none of these equipment you make very much sound. My building is completely insulated.
Yeah.
So they're, my neighbors, none of them will even hear what I'm doing.
I heard you mention like welders and stuff, so you're going to be doing a little hot work and things like that.
Yes.
I should have identified myself too. I'm the fire marshal here for the city, so I'm also coming from like a fire and life safety standpoint on this.
Yes, I will have a welding curtain in my area that wraps around what I'll be welding.
Mark, would you all have to go out there and kind of okay his facility?
Jeremy, would he would have a building license or a business license?
I have that.
He's applied for his FFL, which is a firearm. ATF's contacted me. They want to know if his property is zoned correctly. That's why he's here. So they will do their inspect. Well, we don't inspect that. You guys won't be going there.
We won't be going there to. What are we changing the?
To my knowledge, you guys, we've done this several
land
times.
Use, what would it be? It wouldn't be residential anymore at that point for his shop, right?
It's a land use variance, which means for him to do what he wants to do, it's variances for him. It's not good for anything else. Somebody else would want to, if he sells his property. So it's not changing the zoning.
But
Zoning's forever, variance is just for him. While he's doing what he's doing.
So the zoning stays the same, so still be R1 residential.
Still gonna be residential.
But
He moves out of there and sells it to
variance.
you, and you want it as a house, it's just a garage again, it's not a business. You'd have to come back to this board.
Okay. Because I did have some concerns when I drove by there and looked, just knowing what's going to be going in there, and I made some phone calls to some gun part manufacturers and things like that, and like, what kind of solvents are you going to be using?
It'll be dry machining. I will not be using any coolants. The only oils will be whey lubes that's inside the machine. And I will have the machines will be sitting inside a pan. So if that was to leak, it would be contained inside a pan.
You know, the oils and things like that. Like I said, if you're going to be using a lot of that over time, because you're coming here with a startup, it sounds like, of a industrial business, really. And I don't think people typically do that. I don't feel that that is a variance issue, as it is just a mismatch of current use.
A mismatch, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's residential, and I've also, I don't know if anybody wrote any letters against this, but I've received phone calls, and you know, one of the questions is this going to change the neighborhood? You know, what kind of effects is this going to have in the neighborhood? Because it is residential. I almost feel like the fact that you're telling us already that you want to expand and you want to move, kind of goes against the request of filing for a variance.
Well, you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I feel like there's places for that are already zoned for that.
I can't, I don't have a budget that will allow me to just go out and buy a piece, rent a piece. I start with what I have.
And I think what you're doing is cool. I get it. I think that's really cool. Manufacturing suppressors for firearms, that's neat. But I don't feel like it's appropriate for a residential.
Do you not have other people that have a home-based business FFL that you've granted variances to?
Well,
because this will fall in that same category.
Yours also, well, in a way, you're right. But in another way, it's not like you're wanting to make bracelets or bake muffins. You're manufacturing things with metals. So that seems to be more industrial than a hobby. Like you said, you have to have a license from the ATF. That probably comes with more security. Do you have to secure your inventory and
yes.
You know, so that's other aspects to look into, like the safety. You know, they probably want you to do that because those are maybe considered a valuable or highly sought after commodity. You got it, people want it.
And that's
so
federally
you know, that's where
regulated.
The security issue comes in a residential neighborhood.
The ATF requires me to secure all this stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Is this going to be a full-time job for you? Or
no, this is a hobby.
It's going to be kind of a part-time gig for you, right? I mean, you're not going to be producing 1,000 silencers a week.
No, we're looking at 5 or 10 a week.
Yeah.
You know, before work, I put in a few hours. I'm trying to supplement my income and start a new business.
Understand. And you've got a lathe, and you've got a mill, and you've got.
In the process of obtaining all that,
like
yes.
Like a wash basin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how big's the facility you're in?
20 by 30.
Okay. And it's already
been there for 20 years.
Well insulated.
Yes.
And you'll have a flash curtain around where you're going to be doing any welding at. Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Rob, can I ask you a hypothetical question?
Sure.
If the ATF had not made you do this to get your license, would you come in and apply for a variance for this?
It's legally required, so yes. I follow the law.
Okay.
Dave, it came before you all at the Plan Commission beforehand. You passed it 6-4 with one absent. What were your all's views on this, please?
Similar application, similar discussion, similar concerns. I think the biggest point there was the concern of having an industrial style business in a residential neighborhood. That's what I think a lot of that was. There's some a little bit of vagueness about the expansion moving forward. That was discussed as well. You know, the variance that they put the recommendation was out actually had stipulations. There were 4 variables on that variance.
Do we remember what those were?
I'm sure Patty can tell you exactly.
Noise, smell, no extra
Outside storage
garbage,
stuff,
No signage.
no signage.
And probably no waste runoff or anything like that, I'm sure.
He has to make sure everything's contained.
And was there also a stipulation on no manufacture of a complete functional firearm? I can't remember. There was a lot of discussion, and I can't remember what all.
It was very heavily discussed. It took some time. I think at the end, you know, I think there was a lot of concerns with it, I'll just say
So
that.
you do eventually want to do firearms?
Right now, no.
Uh-huh. But eventually.
I can't answer that.
Did you give an answer in your last meeting?
It's a vague. I don't know. It all depends on how this business goes. I'm not going to say yes in the future. I will if this business doesn't take off.
Yeah. So just to clarify, just to make sure I'm clear, you want to expand and grow, but at the same time you're going to do 10 a week.
I can't say I'm going to do 10 a week. I'm going to do what I can, but this is me. I'm doing this on my own with manual equipment.
Okay.
You know, I'm not got a CNC just pumping them out 24/7.
Okay.
You know, this is not a mass production, you know, endeavor.
And these are steel tubes that are full of a baffle or washers.
Yeah.
And then you put threads on one end.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, okay, so
No.
it's not Cummins.
No.
Okay,
I'm taking a piece of DOM tubing and I'm turning 20 thou out of the inside, 20 thou out of the outside, and I'm welding in some type of baffle.
okay.
Where do you test those at?
I take them out to the country, family property.
Okay, thank you for now, Mr. Bob. If we have any more questions, we'll get with you. We need to open it up for anybody else. Is there anyone else in the gallery in favor of this? Those opposed? Is anyone opposed to this? Seeing neither. Do we have any more questions or discussion amongst the board?
You mentioned the stipulations around noise and smell. How is that?
It would go by city ordinance, and then like if for some reason it was too loud, then we'd send the ordinance officer out.
So too loud, is that based on neighbor complaints? Are we measuring decibels? How does that?
This would be really hard to
complaint.
police.
Probably both.
My concern as well, I apologize for taking up so much time, is if we open this and set a precedence for this, then what about the next guy who's like, hey, I'm going to manufacture car parts at my garage. And then the next person's like, you know what? I think motorcycle helmets are really cool. I can start making those. And that's fine when they're done in the appropriate designated location set forth by the city.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here, like he said, it's just a piece of steel tube about 10 inches long full of washers and then putting a thread on the end. It's not, to me, it just doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. And if he's just gonna be doing as far as supply and demand is concerned, a few a week, this is hardly a major manufacturing situation. We all have neighbors that do woodworking and everything else, build engines, go-karts all over this city. That's just my view on this. Anybody else?
Well, I can give you my views on it.
Please do, Dave.
I think everyone that's been on this board any time and know me knows that I'm as a typical real not a fan of operating a business outside of your home. We have passed some things in the past. Some of those, or a significant amount of those, has been in the 2 mile fringe and not inside the city limits in a high residential area. I do know we've granted another variance. I think a lady one time wanted to, Jeremy, I'm going to say this, it's going to sound dumb, but I think she was making costumes for like yard ornaments or something, but she was selling them on eBay. So I know, and we let her do that, but she also was not in a heavy populated area either. I encourage people that want to do businesses to if you're going to be in and you're going to be successful, you need to make that initial investment in order to operate within the city codes and how that goes now. That's my concern. The outliers in this are all the things that we've already discussed. It is smells and odors and noises and things of that nature. And I don't doubt Mr. Bob's ability to do any of this. I don't at all. I just I think my stance would be more along the lines that I would encourage him to maybe make that investment. There are facilities that are available somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't think it's a good idea myself. So
Did you vote for it or
I
against it?
voted no in
Okay.
the planning and zoning meeting. I voted no. I voted against it.
Okay.
That's public record, so I'm not telling anything I can't tell, so,
Let's
those are
go,
my
let's go
feelings.
ahead. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to deny the request.
I second that.
Okay, motion's been made and it has been seconded. We'll vote. So if we mark deny on our ballots, that means we're voting against it.
Yeah, so his motion is to deny the petition.
Yes,
So we either vote to approve that motion to deny, or
okay,
you deny the motion to approve. That
okay. So
defeats-
if we hit approve
Boy,
on our
here we go.
ballots, that
I-
means
I
we
like
approve
it.
the denial motion. Okay?
Okay, all right, so it's not the variance, it's the got it, okay.
I have you. Thank you.
Two letters here.
It has been denied 4-1.
The variance is denied?
Yes. Next case, please.
Next case, BZA 04-26, High Point Lodging. It's petitioner. Petitioner is requesting a variance at the corner of I-65 and US 50 to vary from the height restriction of 45 feet to be 59 feet for a 4-story hotel.
Your name and your case, if you would, please, sir.
Good evening, Peter Gensick, Gensick Engineering. Do you need an address?
No, you're good.
Okay, all right.
You're good.
So, yeah, I'm with Gensick Engineering. We're the civil engineers working on this project for High Point Lodging. We're proposing a 108-room, 4-story Spring Hill Suites hotel on approximately 2 acres of the ground that's located in the northeast quadrant of I-65 and US 50. This site's part of the existing.
Hey, guys, we're still having a meeting up here, please. Thank you.
Yep. Our hotel site's part of the existing redevelopment area just between the Sunshine Cafe and Taco Bell, just north of 50 there. Spring Hill Suites is a Marriott branded all suites hotel design for business and leisure travelers with amenities, including indoor gathering spaces, pool, fitness area, a complimentary breakfast. We believe this project is consistent with the existing development pattern at the I-65 interchange there, and will be a positive addition to the city of Seymour. Can I ask, in our packet, did we send an elevation of the building? Did we have that yet? Have you
I don't
seen
think
what
we did.
we're?
We don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if Patty
Okay,
or Jeremy
would that
got
be,
them or not.
I've got a few copies I could pass out here.
If you would, please, it'd be nice to
So
see.
you can see what it is we're looking at putting in here, so. So this evening, we're here to request a variance to increase the maximum building height from 45 feet to 59 feet, and allow the construction of our 4-story hotel. This request is driven by the modern hotel design standards. Marriott brand requirements, they establish the floor plan, the floor-to-floor heights that we're to use, and the overall building configuration. 4-story design, it meets 4-story design is necessary to meet those standards and operate as a Spring Hill Suites. From a site planning perspective, the additional height allows the building footprint to be reduced. Instead of a longer 3-story building, 4-story lets us be more compact end to end. Makes for more efficient use of the property, less pavement, and improved internal circulation for guests and staff. Everybody's a little closer to the entrance or to the elevators and stairs to get to the amenities up and downstairs. The height increase is limited in its scope. We're just asking for what's necessary to accommodate the 4th floor and the architectural roof elements. It does not alter the character of the surrounding commercial area, which already includes similarly scaled buildings. In summary, this request enables a high-quality, brand-compliant development while improving site efficiency and maintaining compatibility with the area. We appreciate your consideration and ask that you vote in favor of our request this evening.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in favor of? Anyone against? Questions from the board?
I see the acreage is a total of 6.265, but are you only getting 2 acres of that? Surely you're gonna need more than that.
Yeah,
The parking lots and stuff?
there's an environmental study due to the truck stop, that used to be, the gas station used to be down there. There's some soil contaminations down south.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep our development to the north side.
North side, I get that, yep, I understand all that.
Quite enough for everybody here.
Yeah, thank you very
There's
much.
2 if you could.
There, you can, we got one. So.
Yeah, they're sharing. They're sharing. Here.
Thank you.
You got 2.
Jeremy, do you need one?
Oh, he's got one. So the main entrance, is that going to be facing, which, would that be facing north?
Right now, we're looking at having, 2 entrances off of, is it Tanger? Is that how you say it?
Tanger Boulevard?
Tanger
Yes.
Boulevard, okay.
Yes.
There's some chance we'll also add a drive that connects us to the south to that, where that frontage road is there in front of the cafe.
Sunshine Cafe.
Yep, thank you.
Now, where would that eventually go? Would that go
There's an
between?
entrance there, how you get to
It's
Taco Bell.
already there, yeah.
It's already there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
You just tie
Oh, I
up
thought you meant the
existing.
frontage road that runs in front of.
Yeah, there's kind
That
of just a
one,
big
that one.
sea of asphalt
Yeah,
and
that right
concrete.
there.
that-
I got you.
Comes on out.
Yeah,
There's
I got you.
access
Thank you.
to between that other hotel and that, and the Sunshine
The
Cafe.
specifics of the site layout, we haven't really locked in on. That, the layout we submitted was just to show we can fit something on the site. We'll,
Right. They're getting a little weeds deep in it. We're asking if.
Yeah, we're ahead, but
Yeah,
we're ahead of
They're getting
schedule
ahead
here.
of the game, which they like to do. We're
Yeah,
talking about
absolutely,
4 stories,
absolutely.
and if you think 4 stories is okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about design after later.
Got
We'll
it.
talk about that tonight.
Got it. Okay. Any other questions or discussion amongst the board?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made. I will second that. We will vote.
Pen ran out, Rob. I don't think you can see the indentation.
Gotcha. It has been approved 5-0.
thank you all.
Thank you. Welcome to
Thank you.
Seymour.
I'm Patty.
Oh, hi Patty, nice to meet you in
Nice
person.
to meet you.
So, and Terry gave you everything she needed.
I think
That's
so.
it as far as
got
we
it.
have. Is there anything
Yep.
old or new that we
Got
need
it.
to discuss?
Nope.
Without, I would make a motion to dismiss.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Well,
Second.
okay, I second it then. It's over. Thank you, everybody.
How's that? Good?
Turn it off.